EU is divided on Russian sanctions over Ukraine. Major economic sanctions against Russia could be imposed by the EU if it invades Ukraine, but diplomats and officials say the threat is contingent on complicated negotiations involving 27 EU member states that are still ongoing. They argue that an invasion within the next few days would be premature for EU negotiators, who are still attempting to agree on a package of measures. A Russian troop buildup near Ukraine's borders has sparked accusations of a Russian invasion from Moscow, which denies the claims. When the EU is ready to move on sanctions, which it claims will have massive consequences and severe costs, is not yet clear. EU capitals and the EU's executive body, the European Commission, are meeting in secret, not in Brussels, to discuss the bloc's future. The economies of the EU are more vulnerable than those of the US. During the 2 years following Russia's annexation of Crimea from Ukraine in 2014, EU data shows that their exports to Russia fell by a fifth. Negotiations will hinge on Germany's position as the EU's largest importer of Russian gas. France and Germany, the EU's two traditional superpowers, have not shown much disagreement so far on the necessity of tough sanctions, according to diplomats. For the year 2020, Russia will provide 44% of the gas imported by the EU from all trading partners combined. On the other hand, according to EU data, gas accounts for anywhere from 75% to 100% of the value of gas imports to countries such as Bulgaria and Hungary. A wide range of products from manufacturing to mining have been shipped from Germany and Italy to Russia. In a meeting of EU foreign ministers last month, the issue of what constitutes a trigger for sanctions was brought up. On a visit to Moscow, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán declared that sanctions were ineffective. Russian meddling in Ukraine could take the form of a coup, cyber attacks, or a full-blown invasion, say Western military experts. Concerned about the delay in imposing EU sanctions on Belarus for repressing mass street protests, the European Commission is developing sanctions proposals after consulting with member states. European Union member states can now begin discussions with the goal of having a response ready for EU leaders in the event that Russia invades. No sanctions, including punitive measures against Russian money transfers through the SWIFT global interbank payments system, are off-limits to EU diplomats and officials. They say EU sanctions will not be identical to US sanctions. The severity of sanctions would be graded according to Russia's behavior, with a clear escalation ladder. As a first step, imposing travel restrictions and asset freezes on Russian nationals would be appropriate. But the EU has no names yet, even if everyone agrees that unlike the US, Russian President Vladimir Putin would not be targeted to keep diplomatic channels open. The EU, on the other hand, insists that evidence of oligarchs' wrongdoing must be provided before sanctions can be imposed in European courts. On the other hand, there is more consensus on sanctioning Russian defense companies or limiting exports of Western technology, possibly related to AI. Even though Austrian, Hungarian, Italian, and French banks have branches in Russia, they aren't allowed to do business with the EU. Other measures could include adding more state-owned businesses to a list of businesses that aren't allowed to do business with the EU. Russia's threat to cut off Europe's gas supply remains the most challenging aspect of the sanctions. The German government has hinted that it may take punitive measures against Nord Stream 2, but the German capital must first make some difficult decisions.